Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's yoga practice. My name's Leslie. I'm going to be guiding you through today's sequence, and we're going to be doing some yin yoga today. So, a little bit slower paced, holding in pose for a little bit longer than we would in a typical flow class. Now, I wanted to address a little bit of mind chatter today, and with all of the unrest in the world, there's a lot of stimulation around us at the moment, and it's not all positive, unfortunately. Emotionally, physically, mentally, even spiritually, there's a level of unease currently in society. Not just here in the UK, but globally, it's kind of spreading out. Obviously, we have a virus that's doing exactly that, but there's a few other things underlying that are kind of coming up behind that as well. So today's practice is all about bringing calm and maybe balance as well to our body in all levels. So not just physically, but as I say, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, through all of our energetic bodies as well, through the Panchmaya Kosha system. So we'll be taking things slowly today and holding each pose for a few moments as we allow each priceless breath that we inhale to flow through the system and go from the very tops of our heads all the way down to the very tips of our toes, breathing into all areas of the body and really opening and calming the bodies of the, like I say, the Panchmaya Kosha system, but obviously the physical and spiritual as well, so everything in between. Now, during today's practice, if you experience any kind of rise in sensation from the heart or the mind, then maybe these emotions or thoughts, you should just acknowledge them and then come back to your breath. So, just being aware that those thoughts and emotions are there, but then just bringing yourself back to your breath, bringing yourself back to now, and just being in the body and in the practice. Maybe you should allow these sensations to release out, let go of them if they're no longer serving you for the higher good, the greater good. Or maybe revisit them a little bit later, either whilst you're journaling, if you do such a thing, maybe during a meditation, or maybe just sit in contemplation and actually just think about what's come up for you today. Give yourself the permission to take this time on the mat to honor yourself, to escape the challenges that we're facing on a daily basis at the moment, and just take this short amount of time to recharge the batteries before heading back out into the world. Everything that you need is within you right now, and you may just need a little bit of time to process exactly what that is for you at the moment, exactly what you need and what you need to focus on right now. So take this practice today for that very reason. Take it for the time to allow yourself to come into body, come into awareness, come into a state of awokenness, I suppose, and just really tune in and see what's going on for you at the moment and what you may need to do after the practice today to find that true balance between your bodies. So we're going to start today in a child's pose. So if you bring yourself down to your mat, now you'll see that I have a blanket today. This may be something that you want to grab hold of if you can, if you have one available. If not, maybe just use a folded up towel or something similar. And it just, in some of the poses, it just gives you that little bit of extra support and comfort under the knees and under the hips, under the chest and the head at certain poses. So if I'm moving the blanket, I will guide you to do the same. I also have a block here today. We may or may not use it. It just really depends on where you're at. So I will obviously guide you if in any pose it would be beneficial in any way for you. So coming to your mat, I invite you to come and meet me in child's pose. So bringing yourself to your hands and knees to start with. Just bring your toes to meet. Spread your knees a little bit wider than normal, and then just gently ease your hips back over your heels, lowering yourself down And then gently surrender your chest down towards the earth and just rest down into your child's pose. Bringing yourself down, resting your forehead on the mat. Just finding ease and comfort in this pose here today. Now engage through your fingers, planting your spread fingers out over the mat. And just press your hands into the floor just a little bit, just to get that engagement through your side body. And then when you're ready, just taking a breath in and rolling the shoulders back and away from the ears, just opening through the chest, allowing your heart to shine down into the air. Now we're going to stay here for a few moments now, so just really take this opportunity to connect with your breath. Maybe scan through your body and just find any areas of tension that you may be holding, any areas where you may be gripping the body. And if you find any such areas, just inhale deeply into that particular area. And then as you exhale, just release the tension. Just allow that part of the body to relax. As you're inhaling, you may feel the sensation of your back body opening, the spine lifting and stretching and elongating. And again here, just exhale and allow the spine to relax and sink, surrendering yourself into the earth. And just connect into your breath. See what's arising for you in your body today. What messages is your body trying to give you? As you exhale, just release the tension. Invite the body to just relax with you. Find that calmness. Just feel the chest expand as you inhale, lifting away from the floor a little bit. And just deepening the breath, inviting your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system, just inviting that to just activate, to take over for a moment. Allow the stresses to just drift away as the rest and digest activates in the body. Allowing sensations to just come and go, acknowledging any thoughts or feelings that you might be getting, and exhaling, letting go. With this world so full of just general rife with sensation at the moment, whether it's positive or negative, it can be quite difficult to switch off away from all of that. So just taking this opportunity to just be within yourself, within your practice. There's nothing outside of the four edges of your mat that you need to be concerned with right now. Just allowing yourself the time to just be still. And know that this stillness that you find here on the mat is always there for you. You just need to invite it and enjoy it. Just stay here for maybe 6 rounds of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. deepening the breath as you go, slowing things down. Okay, one more round of breath here. Stay for the exhale. Good. On your inhale, maybe just rock your head from side to side. Massage your brow over your mat. When you're ready, just bring your head back to center. Gently pushing into the palms, driving up through the hips, bringing yourself to your tabletop. And just finding that length in your body. So spreading the fingers into the earth, almost gripping into the mat with your spread fingers. Planting your knees down into the floor, tucking your tummy in and up a little bit, drawing your ribs down a little bit. Making sure your back is nice and level. We're going to just gently inhale, draw the gaze down towards the navel, tuck the pelvis down, press into the floor with the hands and drive the spine into a nice big arch. Inhale, stay for the exhale. Inhale, exhale, gently raise the gaze, coming past the end of your mat, drawing your eyes up to the point where the ceiling meets the wall, dropping the spine, turning your hips back, turning the eyes of your elbows forward, create space in your chest as you open the shoulders away from the ears. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, bringing the gaze back down slowly. Move with purpose, but move slowly, turning the gaze towards your navel, pressing the earth away from you with your palms, arching the spine into your cat pose. Drawing the navel back towards the spine, arching the back, stay for the exhale. Inhale, slowly moving that gaze past the end of your mat, up towards the corner of the wall. Still drawing those elbows forwards a little bit, turning the eyes of the elbows to the front edge of your mat, open through the collarbones, stay for the exhale. Inhale, gently drawing under. Gaze to the navel, pressing the earth away from you with your hands. And drawing back gently on your inhale, eyes past the end of the mat, bringing yourself to cow pose. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, one more round. Drawing your gaze to your navel, really extending through the spine, pushing up through the palms of the hands, engaging the fingers into the earth. Stay for the exhale. And inhale, gently and deliberately, turning the gaze up towards the point where the ceiling meets the wall. Space in the chest, ears, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale. And inhale, level the spine, bringing the gaze down to your thumbs, bringing the spine back to level, and gently just walking your hands forward ever so slightly, maybe dropping to your elbows, and then just walking your knees back, bringing your hips and your front body down to the earth. Drawing your shoulders away from your ears, open through the chest, ground into the lower arms, spreading the fingers out, pressing into the earth, opening up, lifting the heart. Shine the heart out in front of you. And then maybe gaze towards your thumbs, just bringing your spine and your neck in line. Maybe tucking the chin just to give you that little bit of length in the spine. And here we should try and remember that the neck is an extension of the spine. So whenever we bring into a pose where the neck is involved in any way, shape or form, the neck needs to stay in a line with the spine. So if you're finding yourself in Sphinx and you're gazing up to the wall or the ceiling, just bring that gaze softly down to the thumbs, driving down into the hands, pressing the shoulders out and open, lifting through the heart and the chest, and then gazing down. And just stay here, feel the engagement of the muscles through the front of your body as you press into the earth. And just hold here for a few breaths, really opening through the front body. And just again, just have a little sort of assessment of what's arising for you here. What's your body telling you? What's your mind presenting to you? And can you then allow any of those sensations or emotions to just drift away like a little bit of a twig on a stream? Just acknowledge it and then it floats away. Keeping those shoulders back and away from the ears. And just make small adjustments to your pose as you're here, just to keep yourself aware of how your body's behaving. Nice gentle stretching Sphinx pose. Just keeping your breath nice and even. I'm going to go for 4 more rounds of breath here. Feeling the chest and the belly expand as you inhale. Feel the body extend into that stretch as you exhale. As you inhale your next breath, just gently lower that arm down to the floor, resting the forehead onto the back of your hands for a moment, just to come to crocodile pose. Just holding here for a moment, just a few breaths, just to allow the body to come back from that pose. Inhale, bringing your hands under your shoulders. Gently pressing the earth away from you, bringing yourself onto your knees and just stacking your hips above the knees here. So you've got a nice straight line going up through the thighs. And we're going to gently start to walk the hands forward. Now here you may want to have a block and just pressing it into the earth just below you, finding a position. You may need to adjust it as you come down. But inhale and just slowly walking the hands forward, keeping those hips vertical up towards the ceiling, and just bring your chest onto that block, just really opening through the spine, pressing up into puppy pose. using the hands to support you here. Bringing the forehead to the earth. And again, just rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Keeping the belly button drawn towards the back of the body. The block is optional, so you may wish to remove the block. You may wish to add the block, whichever you're choosing today for your practice. Just know that your intention to hold this pose is helping the body to find calm, helping the body to open and receive energy. We're going to stay here for just a few more rounds of breath, maybe 3 or 4, just sinking into our puppy pose. And on your inhale, bringing your arms gently back down next to the shoulders, pressing yourself up, driving into your tabletop again, bringing the back nice and level, just making sure that your knees are stacked under your hips, hands are stacked under your shoulders. Now you may wish to remove the block if you're using one, and just bringing yourself here, so just tucking your ribs in, knitting them down, draw your belly back towards the spine, pubic bone comes slightly towards your lower ribs. Eyes of the elbows are pointing forwards, the chest is open, the neck and the spine are long, your eyes are gazing down between your hands. As you inhale, just lifting one hand up off the floor, guiding the arm up towards the ceiling, twisting open through the torso, and then on your next exhale, draw that hand through, bringing it to the floor, bringing your shoulder down to the floor, resting your cheek on the earth, and just coming into a spine stretch. You may want to spider walk your fingers up to the top corner of your mat, just to open through the side body and shoulder a little bit more. You may want to adjust and just walk it out a little bit more. Just find your pose, keeping your hips over your knees. Just maintaining your breath evenly in through the nose and out through the nose. I'm just going to hold it here for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. Spider walk those fingers back down next to the shoulder, and we gently push ourselves up, drawing that arm through, raising up towards the ceiling. Inhale, back down, drawing that hand to the floor. Finding that tabletop pose again. Same on the other side now, just inhale, bringing that arm, sweeping it up towards the ceiling. Opening through the torso, exhale, slide that arm down, bringing the shoulder to the floor, opening through that side body, resting the cheek down, and then maybe spider walking those fingers up onto the top corner of the mat. And we're just going to hold here now. With each exhale that you take, just sink into your stretch a little bit deeper. Finding that length through the body, through the front body, through the twist, through the side body if you have your arm extended towards the corner of your mat. I'm just going to hold here for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. Slowly spider walking those fingers back down towards the shoulder, pressing the palm into the earth, and as you inhale, pressing in, exhale, drive up, open that arm towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring it back down to earth. So with this one, with this next one, we may want to reposition our blanket, having it across the mat. Bringing ourselves to our tabletop, we want to take our feet nice and wide, our knees, nice and wide. And we're going to slowly walk ourselves down, coming into a frog pose, turning the knees up, flexing the toes, and finding that opening through the pelvis, through the hips. You may want to here have a little bit of a lift. So if you have a cushion or a bolster or maybe even a block, you can place it underneath the front body, just in between, just around your pubic bone, lifting yourself up, maybe just having it up a little bit under the tummy, so it just gives you that little bit of lift. It's quite an intense stretch in your frog. So just placing your forearms down on the floor, you can spread your fingertips into the earth, maybe interlock your fingers and press down there. Open your chest, raise your heart, lift your heart, shine that light forward from the chest, and then gaze down towards your end of the mat or your fingers. And just find that stretch. Now with your feet engaged, just try and deepen in, opening that stretch. Finding the comfortable point where your knees are out to the side. Tucking your chin slightly to just bring that length up into the neck. And lengthen through the crown of the head, drawing the shoulders back and away from the ears. Now we're going to stay here for a few moments. And just intensify that stretch into your hip girdles, into the pelvic girdle, into the hip joints. Try and keep those feet active, flexing the toes towards your shins. And you can play with this one to find your comfort. So frog is a pose that it can be uncomfortable if you're very tight through your hips. So it's a good pose to do if you're tight through your hips, but it can be a little bit intense. We sometimes do this with bolsters underneath us, but if it's for today, we're not. But you are always more than welcome to do so. You're always more than welcome to lift yourself, elevate the hips away from the earth a little bit to give yourself that space you need to open through the joints. And just find your pose with what props you have today. And if at any point it becomes a little bit too intense, just bring yourself back to child's pose. Maybe take the knees wider than the mat, just bringing your feet together so big toes to touch, and just having that option to go back to child's pose when you need to. So with each exhale, just allow the body to surrender into the mat. Keeping those feet engaged. Feeling the body sink into the earth as you can. Just exhale, release. Keeping those shoulders back and away from the ears. We're going to stay here for 3 or 4 more rounds of breath. So just inhaling through the nose. Exhale, releasing to the floor. One more round of breath. And as you inhale, If your arms are bound, just relax them. Draw the knees in gently. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and drive yourself up. Coming to tabletop before giving yourself a little bit of organic movement, maybe twisting the spine one way then the other. Just finding a little bit of movement here if it feels good. Maybe a couple of cat cows, nice and slowly, opening the spine, dropping the spine. Maybe moving forwards and backwards just a little bit. Before swinging the knees to one side, lowering the hip down, and we're going to come to a staff pose now. So having the legs out long in front of you, engaging through the soles of the feet. So you want your toes flexing towards your shins. Just holding your staff pose here, just allowing the legs to ground into the earth. And feel the activity coming up through the legs. Lengthen up through the spine, find that pose. Drop the shoulders, roll them back and away from the ears. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And tuck the chin slightly to bring that length up through the neck. On an inhale, you're just going to float the arms up, bringing them above the head, palms to face. And then as you exhale, you're just going to fold forward. Now, if you're incredibly tight through your hamstrings, through your lower back, then just resting your hands on your shins, maybe having a block, resting your hands there, just bringing the ground towards you. We all change in our tensions on a daily basis. So some days we can be incredibly flexible, some days we can be incredibly tight. It really depends on what you've been doing recently. How you've slept, what kind of movements you've been making recently. So if you need to, you can lift the knees ever so slightly. Maybe have a rolled up towel or blanket under the knees, which may just allow you to fold forward just that bit more. Just allowing you to stretch that little bit more. Now we're going to stay here, so just placing your hands on your shins, on your toes, wherever feels comfortable. Just allow the body to relax, bringing the belly towards the thighs. Just allow yourself to relax into the stretch. Keeping your gaze down towards your knees, keeping that neck nice and long. Feeling the length of the spine and the neck coming up from the crown, just lengthening up. And just hold here. Opening the stretch, just being aware of what's coming up for you in this posture, what sensations, any feelings, and allow them to wash away. Maybe come back to them later. And just engaging those feet, making sure those toes are pointing towards the shins. Maybe draw the chin in a little bit more, lengthen up through the spine, bring that stretch all the way up the back. You may even, if you have a block or a bolster, you may even want to bring that block onto the knees and rest your forehead onto it. And just allow gravity to do this work for you. And just hold it here. Allow the stretch to integrate into the joints, into the skeleton, into the soft tissue. And allow the body the time to communicate back to the brain that we are safe here in this position. No harm is going to come to us. And as this message is conveyed backwards and forwards, you may find that you're able to sink into this stretch, into this pose a little bit deeper, and that may facilitate a lot more release of any tensions that you're holding. Just holding this here. We're going to go for 4 more rounds of breath in through the nose. Nice, long, slow breaths. Very deliberate breaths. Very meaningful breaths. And as we exhale, release into the stretch. Feel the back body opening as you inhale. We'll do 1 more round of breath together. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. As you inhale, holding on to the block, if you have one, gently roll the spine up, placing the block to the floor next to you. Gently bring the spine up tall, head comes up and over last. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, lengthen. Inhale, as you exhale, forward fold, inhale, and exhale, bringing it back. Maybe bringing the hands to heart center with a prayer position, just lengthen through the spine. And then bring the hands down by your sides. So exhale, I'm going to turn to face you now so you can see what I'm doing. So we want to bring the soles of the feet together. Now you can use your hands to bind here. Maybe hold onto your ankles. Maybe use your peace fingers and wrap them around your big toes. Maybe just hold the toes. Whatever you do, just holding that clasp, making sure that you're in your sit bones. So just give yourself a wiggle into the floor, finding that connection between sit bones and ground, and allow the knees to drop down. Lengthen through the spine, roll the shoulders back and away from the ears, bringing the energy up into the head, now through the crown, lengthen up, tuck the chin slightly, draw length into the neck, and just hold your bound angle pose here. If you want to, if it's within your practice today, you can stay here and this is absolutely fine. It's a good place to be. But what you can also do is invite a little bit more of a forward fold here. So just gently hinging forwards, using the arms to help you, maybe bringing your elbows to the front of your shins. Just wrapping your arms around to support you in your forward fold. Keeping those sit bones down in the floor, so don't be tempted to lift the buttocks off the ground, just keeping them grounded. Lengthen the back body over and just draw that forward fold in. Tucking the chin slightly, keep that length in the neck. And feel the muscles of the inside thighs as they lengthen and stretch. And we're going to keep this pose going for about 4 more rounds of breath. In through the nose and out through the nose. And just allow the exhale to guide you deeper into your stretch. One more round of breath in together. Exhale. Good. On your inhale, bringing your hands to the floor in front of your thighs, in front of your shins, gently pressing yourself up tall. Very slowly bring the head and the hips up and over last. Now keeping your feet as they are, I'll turn back side onto you so you can see. Taking your hands behind you, just gently roll yourself back and down to the elbows. Bringing yourself into a reclined bound angle pose. So again, just keeping the soles of the feet together. Connect through that kinetic chain. Allow the energy to flow in a loop around your body. Feel the heat transferring from one foot to the other. Tucking the shoulder blades underneath you. So just lifting one side of your back, walking the shoulder blade under, lifting the other, walking the other shoulder blade under. Just relax the arms by your side. Allowing your knees to splay one way and the other way. Just opening them out, allowing them to draw towards the earth. Tucking your chin, drawing length through the neck. And hold here, just inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And release into the floor. Allow your body to relax into the stretch. If you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable here, or your inside thighs are feeling a little bit too intense, maybe take a rolled up blanket, or if you have blocks available, and just pop them underneath your knees. So just placing them on the ground and allowing the knee to rest there, which just takes some of that intensity out of your pose. You can use blankets or bolsters or cushions or blocks, whatever you may have available during your practice today, and just allowing the block or the bolster to allow you to feel comfort within your pose, to feel the stretch but also feel comfortable. We're going to stay here for 4 more rounds of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And on your inhale, just bring the palms of the hands to the outside of your thighs. Take the weight of your legs and draw and squeeze your legs back in together. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a windscreen wiper motion here. Just gently rocking the knees one side to the other, keeping the feet down on the earth. We're going to take the arms out wide, taking the arms to a T shape so they're level with the shoulders roughly. We're going to straighten the left leg down towards the floor, bringing the right leg up and over, and then twisting the hip off of the floor, allowing that knee to come over, bringing the right knee towards the earth, keeping both shoulders on the ground. And you can turn your gaze over your right shoulder, so you're actually turning your head the opposite way. Just bringing that twist further up into your neck, into your cervical spine. And just allowing that stretch there to deepen. See where you're gripping and holding the body, if at all. Just allow the body to relax into the stretch. Again, if you need the block under your knee, just to give you that little bit of support, then just feel free to bring that to position. And just breathing here, keeping the shoulders down and away, keeping the chest open. Imagine a big bright light shining out from the heart. And remember that no one can dim your light. You're in control of your emotions, your feelings, your energies. Keeping that light nice and bright as it shines out through the heart. You're going to stay here for 4 more rounds of breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Stay here for the exhale of the 4th breath. On the inhale, gently bring that right knee up so it's just resting around the shin, rolling the leg back down, rolling yourself back over onto your back, lengthening through the right leg, activate the foot. Same on this side, just bringing that foot, resting the heel above the knee, bringing the hip over, keeping the shoulders down. You may find one side slightly more intense than the other. We aren't symmetrical. Turning your head to face the left this time, bringing that spine up. Bringing it round into a nice rotation, with a stretch into the cervical spine. And just find that release here, find that point where you can exhale, sink down into your pose. We're just going to hold here for maybe 4 more rounds of breath in through the nose and out through the nose, release into the stretch, and keeping the shoulders down on the floor. One more round of breath here together. Inhale, exhale, and on your next inhale, gently just roll yourself, bringing your hips back to the floor, bringing yourself level, bringing your arms into the sides. Now inhale, bring one leg up towards the ceiling, maybe turning the leg straight, turning the sole of the foot towards the ceiling. Now bringing the other leg up, just find that nice straight pose there. You can support your legs here if you want to with your hands. You can have a slight bend in your knee if you need to. Just allow the blood and the oxygen to drain and come back through the heart. Relaxing through the body, pressing into the earth with your back, with your palms lengthening through the neck. Drawing your tummy muscles in and down, drawing the navel to the spine. As you inhale, just lengthen up through the soles of the feet, and as you exhale, just gently start to lower the legs down. Bend the knees if you need to. One foot to the floor, other foot to the floor, lengthen the legs out. And find your corpse pose. So again, just lengthening through the legs, having the feet just relaxed, and dropping out to the side. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling, ready to receive. Walking the shoulder blades underneath the back, just giving yourself that little bit of comfort and cushioning with the shoulder blades. Allow the chin to tuck in slightly, just drawing neck length through the neck, closing your eyes, just bringing awareness back to your breath. Feeling the sensations within your body as you inhale. Allow that oxygen, that fresh clean air to swell through the entire length of your body, from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes, out and down both arms and out to the fingertips. Just feel that energy coursing backwards and forwards as you inhale. Feel the body as you exhale. And drain the body. Inhale. Feel it in your fingertips and your toes. Exhale. Like a balloon deflating, just let go of that air. Feel the belly rise. Feel the belly fall. Feel the ribs expand. Feel the ribs restrict. Each breath just connects you a little bit more, sinks you into the world a little bit more. Allow that calmness to wash over you, knowing that you've got nothing else that you need to be doing right now. There's nowhere else you need to go. There's nothing else you need to be doing. Right now, this moment here is for you. Allow your body to integrate what has just happened. Integrate the asanas that we've practiced today as you relax in your Shavasana. Inhale. As you exhale, just switch off. I will guide you out of Shavasana shortly. Gently just start to bring your awareness back into your breath. Feel the belly rise as you inhale. Feel it fall as you exhale. Feel what's going on, what's happening, what's arising, what's coming up for you in your body. Just start to bring those sensations back. Giving your fingers and your toes a wiggle. Maybe rocking your head from one side over to the other. Gentle, just turning the head. Maybe stretch your arms up overhead. Give yourself a good morning stretch as if you've just woken up. Maybe yawn. Maybe sigh. What feels nice for you in your body right now? Just knowing that you're finished in your asana practice today. You should feel a little bit more balanced. In your own time, gently roll over onto one side. Bringing your hand to the floor in front of you, press the earth away from you, coming up to seated. Bringing the hands to prayer at heart center in front of you, just resting the thumbs into the sternum. Start to rub the hands together, bringing heat into the palms. Just generate that nice natural heat in there. And when you're ready, just placing the palms over the eyes. Blinking the eyes into the palms, drawing in that heat, that energy, opening the eyes, bringing the hands back to heart center. Exhale. Namaste. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining me again today. I really hope that you found some calmness in today's practice and that you can take that away with you into the rest of your day. And know that that stillness that you experience in posture, in pose, is always available for you to access. All you need to do is just connect into your breath and find it, and just find that stillness in whatever you're doing. So I hope that it's helped you find a little bit of balance. And if you have any questions with regards to today's practice or your own personal practice, then please feel free to come and talk with me. I'm more than happy to chat. But until next time, take care.